Today, we're going to be looking at the story of a father who sued his 45-year-old son for refusing to move out of his house. No job, no rent, no responsibility, but a full entitlement. While the son, on the other hand, is like, what? My own father sue me? My father wants me out of his house? A father that brought me into this world? And he wants his only son and his only child out of his house? To go where? No, it can't happen. And it won't happen. I must fight for my rights. I'm the apparent heir of my father's throne. I'm going to file a countersuit against him for 50,000 US dollar. The question now is, who is really to blame here? The son or the parent? Well, before you conclude, please see the video first.
Barry Condor, sir?
That's me, Your Honor.
I'm assuming because you guys have the same last name, you know the defendant, Daniel Condor?
Yes, unfortunately, that's my son.
Okay, all right. It shows here that you're suing him and you're trying to have him removed from your home. Am I reading this correctly?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, have you started the eviction notice process?
I have my attorney working on it. I'm not sure where he is in the process.
Okay, tell us what's going on here, sir.
My son is 45 years old, and to the best of my knowledge, in the last 25 years, he's never held a job for more than a few hours.
I'm sorry, did you say a few hours?
That would be about the maximum, yes, Your Honor.
You mean over the past 25 years, his work history equates to a few hours?
If you could call it a history, I guess, yeah.
Oh, wow. Please continue, sir.
My wife and I have supported him for all these years, physically, emotionally, and most of all, financially.
Like they should have.
Hold on, sir. Hold on. I'll get to you in a second.
And the burden has become almost unbearable. My wife is ill now. I'm getting up there in years as she is. The financial responsibility is killing us, and I want him evicted from the house. I want him to have responsibility for his own life and his own well-being. We're pretty much washed our hands of him.
Let me ask you this question, and for the purposes of this court, I'm going to refer to you as Mr. Barry. Is that okay, sir?
Perfectly.
Mr. Barry, let me ask you this. Is he the only child?
Yes, he is.
Okay, figures. All right. Mr. Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Are you okay with me calling you Mr. Daniel?
Call me whatever you want, sir.
All right, Mr. Daniel, sir. I show here that you are filing a countersuit against your father for the amount of $50,000.
Yes, sir.
Emotional distress. Clarify what that means, please.
Well, first of all, Your Honor, if you adopted a dog, you're stuck with that dog for the rest of its life, right?
Okay.
He decided to give birth to me, so pretty much him and my mom are stuck with me for the rest of their life.
Okay. Are you adopted, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. So you are the biological child of Mr. Barry Condor and his wife.
Yes, sir.
Your mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, when you say they're stuck with you, you're stuck. They're stuck with you for the rest of their lives. What does that mean exactly, sir?
That means like taking an animal into your home. It's now their home too. So if they gave birth to me, right? I'm there. I'm in the home. That's my home too. I mean, God forbid, I don't want this to happen, but they're getting, like he said, up there in age. I'm going to have the place anyway. Okay. So why kick me out now? In another 10 or so years, I'm going to be living there myself.
Okay. Are you aware of the fact, since we're going to use a pet analogy here, are you aware of the fact that at some point in time, the owner of that pet can get tired of it and throw the pet out at any time that they want?
Well, that means they're inhumane, which if he wants to be inhumane, which he's doing now, that's what he can do.
He
So
can do
obviously,
that. Also, they can put the pet to sleep if they can't take care of the pet anymore, if the pet becomes ill or something like that. You're aware of that also?
first of all, I'm not ill. Second of all, that would be murder, and then I would get the house anyway. So they know they're not going to do that route.
Okay. You're aware that people bring pets into their lives for joy and pleasure to improve their self-well-being.
Well, I don't have like a lot of choices in my life anyway, because back in 2008, 9, when we had the market crash and all that, I lost my 401k. I lost all my savings.
So you did have a job back then?
Your Honor, I was VIP pilot for a jet company.
Okay.
Like I was big time.
Okay.
My dad and I used to hang out in his mansion because he's loaded. He's lying to you. He was loaded.
Okay.
He has the money to support me. And when I lost everything, I was really emotionally like distressed. So I decided, hey, I want to take a trip to New York City, clear my mind, relax. So I went to Central Park and I was feeding the pigeons.
Okay.
Right? While I was doing that, I happened to catch what was called like a bird flu, and it really messed me up. And the doctors diagnosed me, and now I can't get a job because
So what you're saying right now is you have a disability.
I have a disability. They posted this all over New York City. Beware the bird boy.
Okay.
And now nobody wants me to hire me, so I can't get a job either now.
I understand that, and I'm sorry that you experienced that. But my question to you is, why are you suing your father for $50,000?
Because I don't have any money to my name. He's loaded, right? Him and my mom are loaded.
Okay.
And if they want me out of the house, they're going to have to help me out a little bit. So I figured I'll leave the house, but you got to give me at least 50 G's so I can go out and get a place to stay.
You're 45 years old.
Yes, sir.
You said you haven't worked since 2008?
No, when I had all those issues.
Okay.
And I can't get a job now.
So for the past 16 years, you've been living in their residence off of their money, off of their welfare, off of their care. And you think that you're entitled to that.
I'm definitely entitled to it.
How do you figure that? Because they brought you into the world and it's their responsibility to take care of you.
Yeah, like if you are married, it's like till death do you part, right? So,
you're not married.
Well, having a kid is
and even if you were married, you still have the right to divorce that person and have that person out of your life. You are an adult. They have no obligation to you.
They do, Your Honor.
No, they do not.
They need to cook for me. They need to buy me a car, pay my
You
insurance.
are a grown man.
Yes, I know that. That's why they got to spend more on me.
Now, if you watch the video, you'll see that the father started by saying, unfortunately, that's my son.
Yes, unfortunately, that's my son.
That word, unfortunately, to him means I'm angry at you. I'm highly disappointed at you. I'm fed up of you. No, this can be my son. I'm not proud of him. I'm not proud of you, son. Not in any way. Guys, it's my utmost prayer that you and I will not get to this point in our parenting. I thought someone would say amen. Please put it in the comment section. Dear parents, you see, I often say parenting is not always about now and today, but about the future. It's about who our children become in years to come. And what determines who they become is completely dependent on what we do with them on daily basis, especially from their formative years. I saw 2 comments from this video that I'd like us to talk about, and then we'll talk about the parenting lessons. The first comment says, "But it's not his fault. He didn't raise himself. Taro, 2 grown adults raised him. So whatever behavior he's exhibiting today is a product of how he was raised." Yes, I know it's a product of how he was raised. I get it, and I get it completely. But unfortunately, the world we live in today, it doesn't work that way. Fine, parents may have spoiled him, especially him being their only child, which led to him turning out the way he is today. But again, remember by law, a child becomes an adult as soon as they turn 18 years of age. Meaning for Daniels, his parents are no longer responsible for him. He is responsible for himself, irrespective of how he was raised. It's his responsibility to learn, unlearn, and relearn for himself. I think his parents don't owe him anything anymore at this point of his life. Just like many of us, to think of it, we didn't turn out well, and this was because of how we were raised. And some of us have intentionally taken our parents off it. For how long are you going to blame your parents? It's my parents' fault, it's my parents' fault. For how long? And they've asked themselves or told themselves, what about those whose upbringing was worse than mine or Daniel's? Some, the way they were raised, it was worse. And also, we have many who made lemonade from the lemon they got from who raised them. So for Daniel, it is his responsibility to take his life and hold it by himself, despite his parents failing him. But sadly, from the way he's going, he may not be teachable, you can see. And this is why it's important we teach our children the skill of teachability. Teachability is a vital skill, and it is the ability and willingness for a child to be able to learn from others and adapt to new informations and ideas. Also, another comment I read was, why would the father want him out of his house? Why would the judge approve his father kick him out of the house? Or why would they want to send the police to kick him out of the house? Where's the place of unconditional love then? Yes, I get it. For me, I preach unconditional love all the time. But here's the thing. Sometimes children don't learn the easy way, but the hard way. So kicking Daniel out of the house might just be the only way he will learn. Because by the time reality dawns on him, by the time he's been kicked out, he's on the streets, he has nowhere to go, no food, no chips and chicken to eat. He might come to his realization, he might just wake up and become productive for himself and life and destiny. So imagine at 44, he's still being spoiled. His parents, they're still feeding him, they're still paying his bills, he's still living with them and on them. The truth is, someone like Daniel may never ever become independent unless he's being kicked out. I think he should be kicked out. And this is what we call tough love in parenting. For unconditional love, this love, unconditional love, very, very hard to give, to be honest. And it is greatest gift of all. However, the question you and I want to ask is Daniel ready to work? Is he ready to do anything meaningful for himself? Is he ready to be productive? Is he willing to start up a business? Is he ready to do anything? Is he ready and willing to do something to be productive? If yes, then the parent can support and guide him. And also, they can get him a therapy as well. So, doing this is them showing him unconditional love. Now, let's see the parenting lesson we can learn from Daniel and his father. First, I would say is love without limit is enabling. Many of us as parents, we just want to give our children everything. We want them to just get all they want at all time. We want them to be happy. And some of us will justify it with, he's my only child. Do you know what I suffered to have him? And my honest answer for such parents is, so because he went through all of that, or because it cost you a lot to have him, so you now want to love your child to death, right? And the truth is, it might not be physical death. Because for Daniel's case, even his father said it, that they spoiled him.
I think our own fault for spoiling him, and the spoiling went on a little too long. We want him to take his responsibility for his own life.
This is a child from an upper class who had everything he wanted at his beck and call. Now, see the impact on him. At 45, dear parents, your children don't need everything they want. They don't need all of those things you provide for them, including those luxurious life you provide for them. You know why? When you do these things, you rob them the ability to see life in real sense, because they'll start to think life is all rosy and sweet. And when in real sense, it is not so. And before you know it, they'll become ungrateful, and then entitlement will set in. And that is not what we want. And also remember that if you do everything for them for so long, you will rob them the ability to learn how to do things for themselves. Again, you're raising an adult, not an independent child. So, dear parents, it's important for us to set those expectations early, assign age appropriate chores, set boundaries, and teach them basic life skills. And another parenting lesson is comfort can kill growth. Dear parents, I know it is in our nature to want to protect our children from struggles, but the truth is, overprotecting them can sometimes become a prison for not just your child, but also to you. This was exactly the case of Daniel. Why not let your child face those struggles, those difficulties from a young age, instead of always jumping into feastings for them just to make them happy, just to make sure that they are comfortable? Allow them to figure things out themselves, and it could be as simple as putting their shoes on. The more they figure it out themselves, the more they will believe in themselves. And the more they believe in themselves, the more they will build their independent skills, which they will need for the rest of their lives. Also, let them see how you face and manage your own difficulties and challenges, because the more they see you and I, the more they will learn. If Daniel had learned this basic life skill at a young age, I'm sure he would have been able to make lemonades from his lemons when he lost his job. The truth is, there were many things he could have done for himself. He could have set up his own business, better still, travel to other countries where nobody knew him, or even go to African countries where he'll be treated like a celebrity and just explore. And the last parenting lesson for me is, what you sow is what you reap. You see the values, the behaviors, the teaching you instill in your child, it will automatically shape their character and their actions. Take it or leave it. In other words, we essentially plant the seeds of positive or negative qualities in our children, and this seed grow into the harvest of our children's adult life. For Daniel's parents, I'm pretty sure it is not just about him sitting at home eating and playing game or eating chicken and chips at 45. I believe it was also for the fact that he is a liability to them. And this is a major burden. You can hear their father say it is a major burden on him or on them. But the truth is, this is their own consequences of not training their own son, Daniel, in the way he should go. That when he is old, he will not depart from it. So guys, what do you think about this video? Would you still blame Daniel or his parents? Are you going to blame both? So please drop all your thoughts down in the comment section. Please like this video and share it so others can see it. And if you have been watching me and you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for now? Hit the button now if you haven't done so, and in my next video I will see you again. Bye bye.